What an unremarkable planet. But wait a second. My scouter is picking up a strange energy signature up in low orbit. It's definitely not a ship. It looks more like a construction. Well, as the strongest warrior in this sector, I suppose it's my job to go check out whatever these primitive humans have managed to bolt together.
Okay, let's see. My scouter's clocking its speed at 28,000 kilometers per hour. I'll give them that. It's faster than their little rockets, but it's just coasting, really. A baby step, I guess. For them, anyway.
All right, let's get a real scan of this contraption. It's big, kind of messy looking, just a bunch of tubes and these giant solar wings. Is it supposed to be a weapon? Because it's a pretty slow and obvious one if it is. Okay, I'm a little bit curious now.
So they call it the International Space Station. And get this, it's the biggest thing they've ever put in space, a floating home and laboratory. I mean, that's impressive for a species that can't even fly without a machine. It's like a kid's first treehouse, but, in space.
So, my scan confirms the basics. It's a place for them to live and do experiments. But the strangest thing I'm seeing is the teamwork. 5 different rival groups actually work together on this thing. That level of cooperation is totally useless for conquest, but I have to admit, it's a surprisingly good way to build something.
The orbital period is interesting. It goes around the entire planet every 90 minutes. That's a ridiculously short day. It must be so disorienting. Why would they pick a path that puts them through such a weird cycle? 16? Are you kidding me? They see 16 sunrises and 16 sunsets every single day? That's just absurd. I mean, what does that even do to you? Okay, I'll admit it. That's a detail I did not see coming. It's almost poetic in a really chaotic, very human sort of way. Okay, enough looking from the outside. I'm going in. Let's see how these fragile little creatures actually manage to survive inside their metal can. My scouter is detecting something strange, almost no gravity at all. Oh, this should be fun. They call it microgravity. So they're not actually weightless. The whole station is just constantly falling around the planet. It's a clumsy, but I guess effective way to simulate flying. It's like a cheap imitation of what I can do with basic key control. But for them, I can see the appeal. Oh, you have got to see how they adapt. They don't walk. They just pull themselves along these handrails. They can't pour water, so they have to drink from these little pouches. To sleep, they literally have to strap themselves into a sleeping bag. And the toilets use air suction. It's so primitive and awkward, but they make it work. It's a real testament to their sheer stubbornness, if nothing else. But all this effort, for what? This can't just be some orbital playground. I feel like there's a deeper reason for all this. It's not a power I can read on my scouter, but it's here. I need to find the real core of this station, its real purpose. I mean, why go through all this trouble? Why live in this weird floating box? It can't just be for the view, even if you do get 16 sunrises a day. There has to be a bigger mission here. Oh, I see it now. It's a laboratory, a training ground. They actually study how their own weak bodies fall apart up here and then use that information to help people back on the planet. They're learning to grow food far from home, which you'd obviously need for long journeys. They're even using this place to study stars in their own world without the atmosphere getting in the way. So they're not just living in space, they're learning from it. This is their version of training. So that's it. It all makes sense now. The station itself isn't the final goal. No, it's a training chamber, a stepping stone. For them, this whole thing is basically my gravity room, but for their entire species. They're getting ready for something much, much bigger. Their strategy is actually kind of brilliant. Step 1, figure out how to survive in your immediate surroundings. Step 2, solve the big problems that are holding you back, like food and health. And finally, step 3, use everything you've learned to push even further out, to Mars, and probably beyond. This kind of long-term thinking, this ambition, it has a warrior spirit to it. Yeah, I can respect that.
I came here expecting to find some primitive little toy, but instead, I found a symbol of some serious potential. Yeah, they're weak, they're fragile, and they're stuck dealing with physics in ways I can't even comprehend. But they work together, they plan for generations, and they are always pushing their own limits. So you have to wonder, If this is their power level now, what are they going to be capable of in 1,000 years? This planet might be worth watching after all.